My network of ninja have uncovered the reason for the attack. The samurai who burned the village was Doku, lord of the greater fiends of the Vigor Empire. It appears as though the Vigor Emperor seeks the power of the Dark Dragon Blade.
Doku.
Chapter 3 Skies of Vengeance. The Hayabusa village has burned and the Dark Dragon Blade is gone. Ryu has stowed aboard an airship headed to the Vigor Empire. His goal? Vengeance. What's cracking with you people? Anansi here and welcome back to Ninja Gaiden Sigma for the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection. In the last one, we got our butts kicked. we put up a good fight, but we got our butts kicked. In this one, we are going to embark upon the main thrust of this gang's plot in Ryu's modern day look for the Xbox when it first came out, in a garb that would come to be known as the legendary Black Falcon. Don't know why they called it that, but hey, we might have questioned it. Anyway, let's jump right into it.
The Holy Vigor Empire. A strange dictatorship veiled in secrecy. Its exclusionist foreign policy makes for very few ways to enter the country. One of the only remaining routes is by airship to the capital city of Tehran.
Malefactor crossing the Vigor border. A search will be conducted immediately. Maintain current course and velocity. I repeat, maintain current course and velocity. We've received reports of a hostile
I guess we know who our boss is for this chapter. Let's go ahead and grab one of these. Look to the Devil's Way. We're going to save right here. Alright, so now that we're inside this little cabin area, let's explore around a little bit. Didn't they do that, but okay. This is no time to be sleeping. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring out this. I don't worry about actually using that anymore. Now, before you do any kind of like legit exploring, you want to go ahead and look through every single door you can, because believe it or not, except for this door, the door is locked and won't budge. There is a card slot next to the door. An ID card of some sort must be necessary. Every other cabin door you can go into, and you'll find some much needed goodies in here if you take the time to do so. The one thing about Ninja Gaiden, even though it is a difficult game, Ninja Gaiden Black and by extension Sigma do a good job of giving the player enough survival items to get you through. Oh, Ayani, what the? The angle of this kunai, I swear, she must be like a master ninja, which is weird because she's technically just an apprentice. You must strengthen your weapon, awaken its inner power to a greater level, and you will be able to perform devastating new techniques. So yeah, this pretty much lets you know that you can upgrade your weapon, but you're not at a point where you can do that yet. Or at least you're not near a Muramasa shop to do it. And I'll explain a little bit more about the upgrade system when we get closer to it. For now, I'm going to kind of go a little bit more in depth about Ayane. At least slightly more, nothing too crazy. Ayane has a very interesting role to play in anyway, so we have our new enemies here. These are going to be our pretty much our main bad guys, our main source of fodder for the game. You want to take care of the black ones first. I'm just as racist as that sounds. You want to take care of the black troopers first because they will give you the biggest pain in the neck you can ever imagine. The white troopers, not too bad, all things considered. Just be warned that you cannot block spam like you could in the last level, because these enemies will make you pay for it. For instance, you'll probably see it in a second here because I am blocking a lot. But if they get more than a 2-hit combo on you while you're blocking, they will do this. And it's every single one of these enemies. They will do this move where, okay, enough with you being a pain. Please back off. Well, not that move right there. Sucks I use a tower reverse throw on this guy, but basically they do a move they'll grab you, slit your, move from behind and slit your throat. Enough of you. Okay. But no, as you can see, they are unbearably difficult because a lot of them do block like crazy. I think this is another door we can go into that we haven't gone into yet. And you're just going to get used to that because, oh dear, is it going to be a pain in the butt to deal with them. Anyway, getting back to Ayane. So, Ninja Gaiden has this thing where it has... You have the ability to adjust your difficulty in the game, but you only get the ability after you die a couple. I want to say like it's like 3 to 4 times. I think after you die on the 4th time, you get the option to lower your difficulty setting. Right now we're playing on essentially normal, which I think is just. Need you to back off, please. Didn't do that, but whatever. Kicked him downstairs, didn't I? And he rolled up it. Wow. That's how you do it. But yeah, no, you get the ability to change difficulty, but it's only after you've died a couple of times. We got a save point down here. And it is probably the most insulting thing in the game. I'm not sure if they still do it in Sigma, but I know that in Black, if you choose to downgrade your challenge factor, I'll explain this while I'm in here. Actually, we'll go ahead and take a skip for right now. I'll get back to it in a second. So here's your upgrade station. I promise this is going to be the last time I skip this tangent. I'm going to do my best to stay on course. Your Dragon Sword has a set amount of times you can upgrade it. If you look up to the top left, right above Muramasa's balding head, you'll see that there is the word level, has some stars next to it. This dictates how many times you can level up your weapons in the game. The Dragon Sword has 3 levels. I'm going to let you know right now, not every single weapon upgrades to 3 levels. So keep that in mind going forward. But luckily, you can pretty much just upgrade based off of how much karma you have. But you can only have the ability to upgrade past a certain level once you hit a certain point in the story. It's kind of random when it happens. Well, I won't say random, but it does happen. I want to say it's like it's not every time you bump into a new Muramasa shop. It's like, I think it was like, I want to say it's like every other time you bump into a new Muramasa shop. So keep your eye for this, and it'll help you out. This increases the damage that your weapon can do, as well as increases your combo game with it. So I think if you go into here, and I want to say you go into, you press X on here, it gives you a list of weapons. Well, a list of abilities here. As you can see, also inside the level screen, it also tells you what level you can get up to. So you have up to, so Dragon Sword can get up to level 4, but we'll get more into that later. Some of the abilities you have to learn via a scroll, as you can see there. So once you get to a certain point again, you can either find a new technique scroll or purchase a new technique scroll. And once again, we'll explain that as we get into it. Now, unlike later Ninja Gaidens, the first Ninja Gaiden game, you don't get too many new skills and abilities going through as you upgrade. It's mostly just damage increases and basically just your skill level from start to finish. So bear that in mind as you're going through, because it will be quite the shock when you get there and you realize, oh, I didn't get that many new abilities. So you really do have to be on your game with this. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying earlier. So if you go into, there are documents strewn about, but none appear to contain any useful information. If you continue to lose and you decide to lower your difficulty setting, Ayani will come up to you, and bear in mind, she's technically an even bigger learner than you are. She's even bigger noob than you are. So she has to treat you with respect. She uses Ayani as a master and whatnot. It's very traditional, very respectful. Kind of the hierarchy going on there. If you choose to downgrade, I want to say, and I don't think it's if you downgrade once. I think if you downgrade below Ninja Hero, it might even be once. I honestly don't know, because I make it a point to never do it. I just know that this does happen. Ayani will call you Dog. Now you'll be downgraded to the rank of Ninja Dog. Okay. The door has been unlocked, so now we can enter this through this way as well. You will get her signature purple bandana. I want to say it's either her signature purple bandana, or it's a purple cloth that's iconic to her. I can't remember the exact one, but she will no longer call you Master Ryu. I think she calls you Dog. I think she calls you Dog the entire time throughout the rest of the game. You have to wear this purple ribbon around your wrist the entire time. So it reminds you that you had to downgrade your difficulty setting. And yeah, it can get demeaning. Like, she can, like I get some people are into that stuff, but I am not one of them. But yeah, it can get incredibly demeaning how she treats you. Interesting. What's this? A report from a junior officer lies on the captain's desk. This is regarding the incident on February 22nd in which all the locks were deactivated. The source of the problem was found to be a malfunction of the primary power supply unit in the aft cabin. Voltage irregularities caused by the aging of the unit caused the fail-safes to kick in, activating emergency power. In this type of situation, all locks aboard the ship are deactivated as a safety measure. I recommend that we upgrade our electrical system as soon as possible. Very interesting. So what's this? A very strange, ancient-looking map. It must be here for decoration rather than any practical purpose. And we have a golden scarab. We'll get to that in a second here. But yeah, no, Ayani can have a Tyron. Nice. Ayani can get incredibly, well, I won't say she gets incredibly mean, but it is a demeaning moment when you're supposed to be this master ninja, you're above her, that kind of stuff, and you choose to give up on the difficulty. And It's not even that she just calls you dog in like her memo she sends you. I think the voice actress actively calls you dog the entire time inside the game, anytime you get to interact with her. This deck of the ship is made up of a series of control panels containing communications and navigation equipment. Oh, very interesting. But yeah, no, it can get incredibly demeaning if you're not prepared for it. And believe me, when I first did it, I didn't first do it. I had never done it. But when I first saw this cutscene, I think I saw it like an optional thing inside the game. I was not prepared for just how brutal it could be. So yeah, just bear that in mind as you're going through if you decide to downgrade difficulty. Now, next bit of business on the docket. The golden scarab we just picked up. These are important. These are your collectibles for the game. For right now, all they do is they just give you. All they are just collectibles. ID card, nice. But yeah, for right now, all they are collectibles. They serve no purpose in the game other than being collected. Oh, well, I say serve no purpose. They serve one purpose. What's their purpose? The ship's controls are configured for autopilot. The course firmly set on the capital of the Vigor Empire. But yeah, no, I mean, it's a. We could go back up the elevator, but I don't think there's any reason to do so. No, there's no reason to do so. No, wait, yeah, there was reason to do so. We have to go back up anyway, but we go back here and we find this. Interact. Although multiple files are stored in this room, none of the documents look as though they contain any important information. But we want to get this because we get the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang. You can't miss this if you're not paying attention. These are your dual blade weapons. I like these weapons a lot. I'm like, if you know me, I tend to use dual blade weapons more than anything else when I play games. I just like the symmetry of it. I like the implied dexterity of anyone who uses it. But you know, we'll get more into the Dragon Claw and Tiger's Fang when we get to it. When we actually get around to using it, because it really is functionally not too different from the Dragon Sword. A lot of the combos are pretty much the same. It just has a more heavy hitting section to it than what you're probably used to. Oh. Okay. Okay. You're a pain in the butt. Okay, we'll do this. Okay, there we go. Now, before we actually continue up that, we want to go back a little bit, or backtrack a bit, to a certain section of the level before we go further into there. Trust me on this, you want to do this now. But yeah, no, the golden scarabs, they serve a purpose where if you bring a certain number to Muramasa's shop, Muramasa will reward you with special items. Some of these items, well, I won't say some, but a lot of these items are incredibly useful. You want to bring these to him, but he doesn't give you an item for every scarab you bring. He gives you one for the first one you brings. Ah, I see you have one of the golden scarabs, a legendary artifact of which many are scattered around the world. If you give it to me, I will exchange it for something worth your while. Here, I'll give you this in exchange. You get a Life of the Gods. This is what you get for your first one. Today you have brought me 1 scarabs. Okay, which brings the total number that you have given me to 1. Now we can upgrade the Dragon Claw. We're going to go ahead and do that, because you do want to try to keep pace with all your weapons and the like. And this will be helpful for a later section. We're actually getting close to time here, but I want to go ahead and just finish explaining this. But so you get a new item for the first scarab you bring. After that is every 5th scarab. And I don't mean every 5th scarab in the sense that you say that your next item item is going to be at scarab number 6. No, you're going to get your next item at scarab number 5. After that, it would be 10. After that, it would be 15. Trust me when I say this, it is worth your time to explore the levels and find these golden scarabs. They will be invaluable in your journey. For instance, we got a Life of the Gods from Muramasa. That brings it up to 4. And you remember, every 9 we get a health boost. Trust me on this. Go out of your way. Find these golden scarabs. They are worth your time. Especially inside the first Ninja Gaiden, where they really only serve to give you more answers. Later on in the series, oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, we're at time for today, so we're gonna call it here for right now. I have been Anansi. You have been awesome, and I'll catch you later. Deuces.